Hello, class. Today we're looking at lesson 9.1, mapping diagrams. Okay, so here we are going to work on this together where we're going to map out the diagram. Okay, so it says complete the mapping diagram. This is our figure. This is our diagram. Okay, notice we have area A. Okay, so when we speak of area, we know that the formula for calculating area is for a rectangle is length times the width. Okay, and so here we have the length, here we have the width. Okay, now it doesn't matter the order that they're in. Okay, so therefore, in order to calculate the area for this shape, it would be 2x or 2 times x, and that would give us the area. Okay, now in this case, we do not know what x is. Okay, so according to our diagram, we have an input and we have an output. Okay, that will give us a result for A. Okay, input, we will put in input for x. So according to this diagram, if x is equal to 1, the output for A would be what value? Well, let's see. If x is 1, then that would be 2 times 1, which would give us a 2. So the output is 2. Okay? Here, if the input is 2, then that's 2 times 2. The output would be 4. Okay? All right, you finished the last two. Okay? Let's move forward to to B, perimeter. Perimeter is plus all sides. So P would be equal to length plus width plus width. Okay? Or P would be equal to 2 times length plus 2 times width. Okay? And once again, here we have 2, here we have x. And here's our input, here's our output for perimeter. So if our width is 2, well, according to this, that was for area, it would be, if our width is 2, then it'd be 2 times 2, okay, plus 2 times x for our length. All right, so let's plug it in. 2 times 2 plus 2, and if x is 1 times 1, then this will be 4 plus 2 would give us a 6. Okay, let's do that again. We'll do it over here. 2 times 2, which is our w, we need 2 of these, okay, one over here, plus 2 times, if our length is 2, times 2, this is 4 plus 4, therefore our answer is 8. Okay, you finished the last two. Okay, let's move forward to circumference. And circumference, we know that circumference is 2 pi r. Okay, and so therefore, if we have 2, if we have pi, and r would be here. Okay, our input for r would be 1. And so then our output, if we plug 1 in for r, we would have 2 times pi, because 2 times 1 is 2, times pi, okay? So then our answer would be, in this case, we can leave it as 2 pi, or we can make it 2 times 3.14, okay? Let's move on to the next one. In this case, we have 2 pi, and r is 2, so that would be 4 pi, this one, and you can finish the last two, okay? Let's look at volume. We know to calculate the volume is length, okay, times the width times the height, okay? So in this case, we have 2, but we don't have h. So we have 3 times h. Therefore, if we input h as these values, let's see what we get. 3 times 3 times 1, okay? That will be 3 times 3 is 9 times 1. That'll give us a 9. So the first value is 9. Let's look at the second one. 3 times 3 times, in this case, 2. So 3 times 3 is 9. Times 2 will give us 18. So the next value will be 18. So therefore, you finish the last two. Okay? Now, let's take a look at something. Here, on the back side, you will want to practice this, okay, in order to be prepared for the first lesson, which is 9.1 book, okay? There's some keywords here. The ordered pairs can be used to show input and output, okay? So now what we mean by that, the input, the output, that will be an ordered paired, okay? Input and output, all right? So here we have functions and mapping diagrams. A function is a relationship that pairs each input with exactly one output, okay? A function can be represented by ordering pairs of a mapping diagram, okay? So we want to take a look at that right quick, okay? So we want to take a look, okay? And we want to see that here, these are the ordered pairs, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 4. Understanding that the first number represents input and the second number represents output, okay? So here's your input, here's your output, okay? Now, let's move on here to the next part I want to show you, okay? List the ordered pairs shown in the mapping diagram. So here we are. Here's A, and these are the ordered pairs. Input 1, output 3. So we have 1, 3. All right, and they would be put in parentheses, okay? Input 2, output 6. That's 2, 6. Here we are. Input 3, output 9. That's 3, 9. Here we are. Input 4, output 12, okay? And so we notice that this increases by 1, okay? This increases by 3, okay? All right, let's look here at this B. B says we have an input of 0 and an output of 2, okay? So therefore we have 0, 2, all right? Then it shows that we have an input of 1 and an output of 0. So we have 1, 0. And we have an input of 2 and an output of 2. We have 2, 2, and an input of 4 and an output of 3. And that's 4, 3. Well, we have a problem, okay? The issue here in this ordered pair, we have, according to our function, a function is a relationship that pairs each input with exactly one output. So here this input should have one output, but this input has the same output as this input. So this would not be considered a function. So B would not be considered a function, all right? So then, from there, down at the bottom of our page, I want you to take a look at exercise 1 and exercise 2. Try to practice the input and output, okay? Let's move forward to our next assignment, our next understanding here. Here we have drawing a mapping diagram. We have 0, 4, 2, 6, 3, 5, and 5, 9. List the input and output in order from least to greatest, okay? So our input and output from least to greatest. So if we go with our input here, we have a input of 0, there it is, 2, there it is, 3, there it is, and 5, there it is. All right, that's from least to greatest. And then our output, 4, then we have a 5, and then we have a 6, and then we have a 9. There we are, okay? So now it says draw arrows from the inputs to their outputs. So if we put 0, 2, 3, and 5, the 0 was with a 4. The 2 was with a 6. The 3 was with a 5. And the 5 was with the 9. So they're in order, and we drew their partner, arrow to their partner, or their input-output pair. Okay? All right, so that's drawing a mapping diagram, okay? Now, let's look at section 3. Describing a mapping diagram. Describe the pattern of input and output, okay, of the mapping diagram. So let's take a look. We have 1 to 15, 2 to 30, 3 to 45, 4 to 60. Okay, look at the relationship between the inputs and the output. Remember I showed you this before. We increased by 1 here, but over here we increased by 15, okay? The same increment for the input and the same distance of increments for the output, okay? Look at the relationship between the input and output. As each input increased by 1, the output increased by 15, okay? So now here, we're going to draw a mapping diagram of 1, 2, 2, 4, 5, 3, and 6, 8. And what you're going to do is put them in the order from least to greatest, as up here, okay? And then you're going to draw an arrow to their partner, okay? And then here you're going to describe it, okay? You're going to describe the input and the output of the mapping diagram, showing their increases, okay? Or their change, all right? And then lastly, from there, we're going to move on to the last section. And on the last section, we're going to take a look here at, trying to hide this here. Take a look here at the last section down here. Alrighty. It says the table shows the number of songs played for 4 bands at a festival and the amount of time each band played. Use the table to draw a mapping diagram. So here we are. Here we have a mapping diagram, 8 to 45, 10 to 60, 7 to 45, and 14 to 90. Now, notice our input is inputted in order, 7, 8, 10, and 45. And our output, put it in order, 45, 60, and 90. Then you do your input and your output diagram, drawing your arrows to each one. And then you can answer the question based on number 4, okay? The question reads, in example 4, a 5th band plays 12 songs, okay? So then here, it says, and is on stage for 70 minutes, okay? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th band plays 12 songs and is on stage for 70 minutes. So this would be a 12 here and a 70 here, okay? Let me move this over. This would be a 12 for your input and a 70 for your output according to number 5, okay? Now, draw a mapping diagram for the 5th band. So you would add it to your input and output, okay? All right, very good. Let's move forward to the next page, okay? Now, here is your assignment page, okay? But before you do your assignment page, we want you to do your homework page. But I'm going to go ahead and describe your assignment. On your assignment page, you will be doing your even numbers, okay, on the assignment page, okay? And so that will take you up to, I believe I have you going up to number 16, depending on the assignment. You look at the assignment, okay? And in each case, you're looking at input, output. On here, I want to explain that your input here would be when you're at 1, 1. When you're at 3, 3. When you're at 5, 5. So this would be X, your input, Y, your output, okay? And that's what I want to explain about that particular assignment, okay? Outside of that, let's take a look at that homework. All right, that homework book